Papasquatjon, come on at ya. Hey everybody, happy 4th of July. It is still 11:20 on the 4th of July when I'm starting this video. So I hope you've had a good Independence Day if you're in the United States, and if you're not, I hope you just had a good day, because our Independence Day probably doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot to you. And that is fine. We're going to listen to something from imxander. I can't talk. imxander. imxander sent this in and said, I have a note from imxander about this. Let me find it. I am stupid. It says, this song is called All My Fault, featuring d1v. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be div or d1v, so there you go. He said it dropped today about 30 minutes ago. However, this came in the beginning of May, and I'm only now getting around to it at the beginning of July. So that tells you how long I am behind, how far I am behind. D1V, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, is also from Sweden, and he's one of my biggest inspirations in music. Therefore, this song means a lot to me, and it feels great to have him featured. That is very cool. I gotta say, that is very, very cool. Anytime you get to work with somebody who's been like a big influence for you, it can either be really disappointing or very, very awesome. And I'm happy that this sounds like it went very well for imxander and d1v. Again, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name correctly or their name correctly. Let's get into this. I have lyrics over here from Genius. And let's just refresh ourselves on imxander, because I know I haven't listened to a lot from him. 19-year-old from southern Sweden. True producer on the rise, having produced a variety of music and doing vocals himself. imxander has a lot to be proud of. His sound is mainly cemented in hyperpop and lo-fi music, giving listeners a range of the super catchy tunes to the super chilled. I don't remember reading that before, but maybe I did. I know I liked his music, so let's get into this and see. 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Whoa, before we go. Last couple days, Babytron is going to be at Numos here in Seattle. Tickets are $27 to $30. That is this Thursday, so it's Tuesday night right now, so just 2 nights, and he will be here in Seattle for this show. At the end of July, July 29th, there's going to be an awesome multi-talented show with multiple talents. That's probably more like it, including Fatsy, Little Narnia, all the other people you see here on this screen. And tickets are only $10 ahead of time, probably taxes and fees, $15 at the door. This information is on Eventbrite. You can also find them on Instagram and contact them directly to get information from them. It's going to be an awesome show. I'm actually really looking forward to it and hope I get to go. Now, I also wanted to look at how we are doings. God, see? My brain just goes out the window. In terms of monetization and number of subscribers, we are at 34,569. So we're 431 people away from 35,000. We'll get there soon, probably next week. And let's look at analytics to see how we're doing for monetization. $9.95. Hey, that's not bad for 4 days. So that's like $2 a day-ish, a little bit more. It's almost tomorrow, so yeah, about $2 a day. But guess what? I'll take it. It's awesome. It's funny because now when I go in to look at my own videos on my phone, because I like to go read the comments even when I'm out and about, especially like when I wake up in the morning, I open it up and I'm like, oh, let's see if anybody has anything to say. And now these ads start popping up and I'm like, oh, that's a weird thing to see. But yeah, so far they've generated $10 worth of value. That's kind of cool, right? I mean, and I don't mind showing you guys, because it's because of you that money is showing up. So thank you for all that. Let's get into this. imxander, All My Fault, featuring d1v or div. Again, I'm not entirely sure. This is a lyric video, but I have the lyrics over here. I prefer to read them over here. So let's do that. 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Let's go.
I just don't get it.
You really won't be better off without me.
She didn't realize till she broke my heart. out the drugs and I'm rolling, I'm getting hard and I go. And I'm so tired of wasting my time with you. And every time that you blame me, I blame it all on you. All I need is to trust. Can you tell me you're not? And all the flicks that you do, I wish you weren't around. Crying my eyes out, I'm taking the lights out. I gotta lay down.
She didn't realize that she broke my heart. I didn't know I would fall so hard. She didn't realize that she saw.
I really like his voice. Very, very, very much. So far we've heard from imxander for the first verse, and then d1v for the second verse, and then imxander again right now. And the levels they seem to be recorded at are slightly different, it seems to me. D1v seemed to be a little bit more receding into the music itself. imxander stands out a little bit more. Again, maybe that's just me. But man, I'm really liking imxander's voice. Let's keep going.
All I want. She put the blame on me and said it's all my fault.
I wish you'd never met me, so you wouldn't be in this mess.
I wouldn't have us to remember. I wouldn't trade this for anything.
So hard, hate it when you leave.
Love it.
Relying on you, 'cause you're all I need. You would never lie, that's what I believe. I was dead wrong, you were stupid of me. Love got me distracted. I gave you everything, you left me empty-handed. Guess I got what I expected. All alone, 'cause I always get rejected. She didn't realize that she broke my heart. I didn't know I would fall so hard. She didn't realize that she's all I want. She put the blame on me and said it's all my fault.
Good track. Good track. I like that a lot. If this isn't labeled as emo, I will be surprised. Let's see, rap and hyperpop. No, this is emo. This is absolutely emo. Yeah, I love it. Produced by imxander, featuring d1v. Let's read about d1v. Read more. Artist rapper from Sweden. He's a member of the collective Boys Night Out, formerly known as SSB. d1v's first project, Seasons, was released in late 2017 and has been followed up by 3 albums, the latest being, as of the writing of this, which was 3 years ago, Ask and Receive. He often appears on other BNO members' songs and various projects, notable members being Swoopy, Loveboy, Loveboy, I remember who that is, Buffalo Bang, and SG Lily. Loveboy is actually Spira May, yes. I do remember reading that. And that is cool. So, this track is very interesting to me because I'm reading through the lyrics as we're listening to the song, and I absolutely understand what he's talking about. And anybody who's watched my videos before knows I often talk about my relationship with my first wife. I get to say that now because I'm going to get married again soon. And it's so weird to talk about. It's so interesting because I've learned things both about myself, about mental health, about the way people process things that I did not know before. And I am absolutely convinced I'm neurodivergent. And I know that's like current modern like popular thing to say, but I am so textbook in so many ways, and one of those ways is I fall really hard, and when I am in, I am all the way in, and it's hard for me to detach from somebody that I think I'm supposed to be with for the rest of my life. And she was one of those people. She was that person. Like, she was my wife, right? That doesn't just end. That's not how I was raised. That's not how I think about things. Relationships take work. And that's exactly what this song sounds like he's talking about. She didn't realize she broke my heart. Just some people don't think that it matters. Like, and this person he's talking about didn't care. Much like my wife didn't care. She cared about herself, and that's all she cared about. I didn't know I would fall so hard. Also, I totally feel that. Like, when something like that happens, you can either accept the reality of it, or you can deny it completely, or just rail against the reality of it. And it doesn't matter what you do or think should be done about it. That's just what reality is. You don't get to determine what that is. And somebody else has decided to define your reality as you are now divorced, you have a failed marriage, they are never going to speak to you again. If they do speak to you again, they're going to treat you like you're a stranger or a dirtbag or a scumbag or just like just a terrible person. Because they need to do that in order to feel that they are justified in walking away from a relationship, especially if they did it like my scumbag wife did. Oh, scumbag. Sorry, it just came out. She cheated and left on me, right? Like, that's not the way you should do things. You should be honest and open and upfront. You should try and work through problems before they become so bad that you decide to have an exit affair like she did. And I feel this, right? Like, this all absolutely 2 lines. She didn't realize that she broke my heart. More appropriately, she didn't care. I didn't know I would fall so hard. Totally. She didn't realize that she's all I want. She's a worthless human being, in my opinion now. She put the blame on me and said it's all my fault. Yes, absolutely. That is absolutely the truth. So I definitely get this. I don't care what you say. It's because I'm falling in love. I'm off the drugs and I run. I'm getting high. Then I go. And I'm so tired of wasting my time on you. And every time that you blame me, I blame it all on you. All I need is the truth. Can you tell me now? And all the things that you do, I wish you weren't around. Crying my eyes out, taking the lights out, I gotta lay down. This is all just terrible end of relationship stuff. Like, taking solace, it sounds like, in drugs and alcohol. Which is exactly what I did, because I couldn't, like, my body was absolutely exploding with stress. And that's all it takes to become alcoholic at 47 years old, is to have super, super, super high stress levels and take a drink. And have, genetic predisposition towards alcoholism or addiction. So I totally get this song. Absolutely get it. But it is a beautiful song. I like the sound of it. I like the music. I like the little glitchy, skippy stuff going on in it. I love their voices. I like the whole thing. I'm going to see if I can go download this because I like it so much. And I hope you like it. I hope you leave some nice feedback for both imxander and d1v, or div. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Great track. Really great track. Enjoying it. And I hope you enjoy it. I will be back. Thanks again for Jesus Christ. Thanks again to imxander for sending this in. I'm sorry it has taken me so long to get around to this, but this is a very, very good song, and I am glad you sent it. So, Pop Squat. Check it out. Ooh, my finger is so big. Have a good night. I watched the movie Nimona tonight, the new one from Netflix, and it was very, very fun. If you have, say, a 10-year-old daughter, it might be worth watching with them. And that's what we did tonight. Instead of going to see explosives going off in the middle of town, which we'll probably see soon enough anyway when the right finally commits to the civil war they want to have. I had to go political. That's because I think the right wing is nuts. There you go. Have a good night. Go watch Nimona. It's a good movie. It was a lot of fun. There was some cool stuff in it. I like the setting. Yeah, there you go. I'll be back with some more music. Have a good night. Bye-bye.